What was once the Polk County Courthouse now serves as the Polk County History Center and houses the Historical Museum and Library. The museum serves the Polk community through special events, volunteer opportunities, and educational programs. More details are coming up next on Polk Place. Welcome to Polk Place. I'm Brian Lacey, and joining me in studio is Jamie Jameson from the Polk History Center.
Yes, sir.
Long time no see.
Yeah, it's been a little bit. We've been having some fun over at the History Center. You should stop by.
Yeah, I feel like I'm hiding from you.
Maybe.
Oh, no, maybe you're hiding from me.
Listen, I'm in plain sight right there on Main Street.
Every time I go by, I go, "Where's Murders?"
Yep, I told her that she was going to have to come track you down and say hi and get you to come in and look at our hat exhibit, which has been phenomenal.
I know, we were talking about that and you guys extended it. Let's talk about that.
Yep, so the Grandeur and Grace exhibit, which explores about 20 different portraits, watercolor portraits of Black women in their church hats, was so popular it was supposed to close at the end of April, but we've extended it through the summer. So if you didn't get a chance to come in and see it, you've got all of summer vacation to pop by and see it.
Well, let's talk a little bit about April scheduled events, the things that normally go on. Then we'll talk about special events.
Yeah, April, we've got some really cool stuff going on. So April 2nd is the very last for the season. We'll pick it back up in the fall, but the very last cemetery tour of the season for Oak Hill Cemetery here in Bartow. That's at 11 o'clock, and you just meet me at the History Center, and we put on our walking shoes, our New Balances maybe, and we walk.
I'm an ASIC guy.
You're an ASIC? Yeah. I like my New Balances, but we'll pop on down to the cemetery and talk about some burial practices and traditions and really the artistry of the headstone. So that's the very first Saturday in April. Then the following 2 Saturdays, so on April 16th, Bartholomew Delcamp is going to lead us on the architectural tour of the Polk County History Center, which is the Old Courthouse. And in particular, he's going to focus on the basements, and he is really, really intrigued by the basements. So he's been digging out some old history on why we would even have basements in a Florida building. Yeah. But yeah, so we're going to explore those basements, and Bart will tell us a little bit of history about that. And our other regular program for the month of April is on April 30th, and that's with Preston Petermeyer, our genealogy historian, and it's a virtual program, so you don't even have to come to the History Center to participate, and it's on the ancestry of well-known individuals. And in particular, this one is on Paul Newman, Ohio.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
Yeah.
So we're going to be exploring Paul Newman's ancestry, and I've got to tune into it because I'm ashamed to admit the only Paul Newman movie I've seen all the way through is Cars. So I've got a little bit of work to do.
Sometimes you got to turn left to go right.
Yes.
Or no, you got to turn right to go left.
Yep. So, I mean, guilty, I have a 3-year-old, so I know that role pretty good. But I think Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid is my dad's favorite.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
And then the one where he's in prison, where he eats all the eggs.
Oh.
Yeah, man, that's kind of crazy.
So
why Paul Newman? What's
this genealogist, well, this genealogist in particular is going to use Paul Newman as a way to geolocate your ancestry. Okay. So it's really kind of just a tool to help you kind of recognize and build your toolkit for researching your genealogy. And it's a fun way to do it, talking about celebrities.
Exactly.
Yep. And so that'll get us through our regular programming in April. And then we're also really looking forward to some extra outside of the building events and programs. One of those is National Library Week, which is celebrated the first full week of April. And we're going to be doing some social media promotions on why your library at the Polk County History Center is so important. The best reason why, and this is no April Fool's joke, is that on April 1, the United States government is digitally releasing the 1950s census. So we're going to be digging in that.
About that.
Yeah. So, I mean, if you've got parents that were married in the 1940s, this is the first time that they show up on a census together, or your childhood home, or if you were born in the 40s, you'll populate on the census that you can research for the first time.
And I know Preston's got to be excited about that, right?
Oh yeah, he's super excited. I think we're going to be listening to 50 music for the whole month. He's going to have some 50s music going on, and it's really a unique way because they change some of the questions that they ask on the census each time. So this will reveal some new information even on people that you were able to look up in prior census records.
So how often do they release that information?
I believe it is every 72 years. Yeah. So, well, they release them in 72-year increments. So what they do is after they've collected it, they digitize it, and then it gets released. And I think it has to do with some of the record-keeping laws. But the really interesting thing is that the digitization is extremely difficult.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it.
They're testing something out new this year with automated indexing, but usually people like you and I would volunteer to read through it and hand type and manually do the index for it. So it takes a little while, even once they've released it, to figure out how they want to distribute it and make it accessible.
So what else is happening exciting in April?
Well, Jay and Lenora Bressler with the Daughters of the American Revolution chapter in Lakeland is going to come visit us again and do a program all about pioneer toys. So if you are a kid at heart, which I know you are, you can come.
Never grow old.
Exactly, Peter Pan. You can come on down to the History Center. It's going to be on Saturday, April 30th at 10:30. And look at some of the pioneer toys that she has to bring in for us. And she really leads into a discussion how, for a period of time, children weren't viewed as a different sociological group, right? They were just treated like little adults, and they were not to be seen and not to be heard from. But then you have this generation that really starts to embrace the concept of childhood and what it means to learn and explore and be a child. So she's going to come and present that to us again Saturday, April 30th, and we're looking forward to it.
Anything else?
The last thing, you'll have to follow the city of Bartow for this, but we're very excited. The last thing is the city of Bartow is going to be dedicating their historic marker, which they applied through the Polk County Historical Commission for Evergreen Cemetery right here on 60. And it is the historic black cemetery for the city of Bartow and probably one of the oldest historic black cemeteries in the county.
So very cool.
Yeah.
So we've extended the hat exhibit for how long?
It's going to be up through at least August.
Okay, so I got that much time to come and try one of them on. And what was it? I call it Inspector Gadget, but you call it?
So that's Miss Lois's hat. It's the nice red-brimmed Agent Carter
Agent Carter.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
I should know that because I started watching that stuff, but
you should.
I still dig the
Yes. Oh, and the last thing we're going to be doing.
Oh yeah.
I almost forgot. How could I forget?
We totally forgot about that.
Is we're going to be expanding the Spessard Holland exhibit in the 1926 courtroom. So part of that expansion features this magic 8-ball, and you'll have to stop by the History Center to see why or how an 8-ball relates to a congressman. And no, he wasn't. Am I going to vote yes on the legislation? He wasn't doing that, but it was something really unique for that time period.
A lot of my worst childhood decisions were based on the magic 8-ball. Am I going to be good today? Chances are highly unlikely.
See, and it wasn't my decisions, it was my hopes and dreams that I was pinning on the 8-ball. Lucky lotto numbers, not today.
I've never seen any numbers.
No, I guess I was just trying to hope that if it said yes, I would magically come up with them.
Exactly. Well, it's always good to see you.
Thank you for having me. We look forward to seeing all of our friends at the History Center this month.
And we'll see you again in May, all right?
Yes, sir.
All right, come back. Bye.
Bye.
Polk County has a rich history and heritage, and the Polk County History Center is continually thinking of new ways to help Polk County residents experience that history. The museum's collection includes natural and cultural objects related to Polk and the greater Central Florida area that represents our history from pre-Columbian to present-day eras. The artifacts on display at the museum represent individuals, cultural groups, and events significant to the region. Now, they're located at 100 East Main Street in Bartow. The History Center is open from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Tuesday through Saturday. And if you need more information, you can give them a call at 863-534-4386 or look them up on the web at polkhistorycenter.org.